Hello everyone, so we're back in the PTR again, and I thought I should make a sort of final Season 2 PTR update video, so I can talk about any last minute changes, my expectations for Arms and Fury, talent builds, sim numbers, and well, anything else that I can think of that is useful. So let's start with this one. So Blizzard did do some fine tuning for Arms and Fury before the patch goes live. All our ability damage is reduced by 5%. And a lot of people are worried about this and then panicking that we're going to be bad now. But you got to think of it this way, right? We got buffed by like 20% on our main abilities twice on the PTR. So a nerf by 5% after that isn't going to amount to much. We're still at a massive net positive. Yes, there is some power creep this patch from the looks of it, but we're doing good. All right. Our sim numbers are among the top as far as I understand. And yes, we still are after these 5% nerfs. So don't worry about it. I still expect that we'll do great. Now, you're probably thinking, is Arms or Fury going to be best in raid? And I think it's going to be close, but I think Arms probably takes the overall win just because Arms sims very slightly higher, but it does have more to target damage, and I understand that execute is going to be quite valuable in this raid as well. So the top sim DPS sim number for Arms on single targets is 2.961 million DPS, and for Fury it's 2.937 million. This is the build that you'll be playing as Arms on single target. This is the one that sims best. We are, interestingly enough, taking finishing blows to get more rage. Only 1 point in depth experience. That'll be why, because fewer overpowers means that we'll be spending more globals actually spending rage. So yeah, that'll be why. And also because our main abilities are dealing most of our damage now, we're actually taking all of these stat nodes here and only taking 1 point in Thunderous Roar. We don't even take the capstones, which is really strange, but hey, it is what it is. We're also playing Opportunists, which is slightly better than Fierce Follow Through. You do have to play around Opportunist procs. It changes your rotation very slightly, but it is worth playing around if you're talented, of course. Right, and for Fury, the talent build changes also a little bit compared to before, and it's the same here as well. You're taking all the stat nodes, only 1 point in Thunderous Roar, because, well, the same reason as Arms. They just buffed our main abilities and not everything else. Anyway, Anger Management is now simming the highest for Fury. Reckless Abandon, if you're wondering, is about 2.1% behind, but we haven't optimized for Reckless Abandon yet. So there's a chance that the Reckless Abandon can catch up, and, well, if you are a Reckless Abandon enjoyer, if you're lucky, it could even overtake Anger Management, but 2.1% is probably too much to overcome. So yeah. Anyway, not much has changed here really for Fury, except the Thunderous Roar choice here and the capstones. Oh yes, I suppose I should mention this. Sudden Death, Imminent Demise for Slayer now requires you to have Sudden Death talented. Previously, you didn't need to have Sudden Death talented for Imminent Demise to work. So yeah, now you have the talent into that. It's the same for Arms as well, but I think Arms talented into Sudden Death anyway, because February Battle doesn't have any value in single target anyway. So yeah. Yeah, let's move on. So again, this is the single target build for Arms. You have finishing blows, which gives you more rage. There is an option to take Skull Splitter, but it's actually slightly worse, so I'm actually happy about that. Fatality still isn't strong enough, and yeah, not much changes here. And again, I talked about the Fury build already. Oh, so here's the races, right? So I play Night Elf, so I just clicked this one for myself to see what the difference is between my race and that race. So the worst race is Volpera, which is like 2.1% behind Void Elf. So that's kind of substantial. But for me, changing to Void Elf for 0.4% DPS is just too small. It's not going to make a difference. Like, a lot of people ask, what's the best race for arms or what's the best race for fury? And I usually just say the difference is always so small that it shouldn't matter unless you're literally playing the worst race. So yeah, don't worry so much about your race. It doesn't matter. Right. And it's kind of the same for fury as well. It's a slightly bigger difference, I guess. 0.6% going from Night Elf to Void Elf. For Fury, the worst one is actually Zandalari Troll. Worse than no race? That can't be right. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Don't worry so much about races in-game. Right. So, this is the AoE M+ build that I think is going to be the best, most well-rounded one, because this one has the best sort of mix of single target and AoE. A lot of people are probably not sure on how to play arms because maybe you played Fury for most of the patch anyway. So yeah, let's just give you a demonstration here. So for my opener in AoE, I want to charge into Thunderclap, into Roar, into Sweeping Strikes, into Ravager, and then all my cooldowns, Warbreaker, Cleave, Mortal Strike, Overpower, Cleave. If the Mortal Strike procs a reset, or Cleave procs a reset, I will press those first. The priority between Cleave, Mortal Strike, and Overpower is Cleave, Mortal Strike, Overpower. So if you have Cleave available, you always prioritize that. And you do that in your Warbreaker window until you have 10 stacks of Demolish, and then you press Demolish. And then you go back to normal rotation, basically. Right. So let's do that. So charge, Cleave, Thunderclap, Roar, Sweeping Strikes, Ravager, all cooldowns, Cleave, Mortal Strike, Overpower, Cleave. I'm just going to Demolish here. Ideally, you want full stacks to Demolish. I was unlucky with crits there. Didn't have any resets either. But yeah, that's how you do it. Then you just continue doing this. You prioritize Cleave over everything, basically. And you use your cooldowns on cooldown. You will find that your cooldowns don't quite line up eventually, especially in M+, when things don't go as planned. And as arms, you do want to just press your cooldowns on cooldown. Things will not line up the way you want them to. That's one of the main complaints about arms, and I also don't like that about arms, but that's just how it plays, and that's the best way to play it right now for damage. So yeah, that's it. So if I would have used Ravager here and Warbreaker, right, my Ravager would not be ready for my next set of big cooldowns, but my Warbreaker would be, so I would just send all my cooldowns there. If you're ever in a situation where you have Ravager ready, but not Warbreaker, then you should usually hold that Ravager until your next Warbreaker. But you don't do it the other way around, if that makes sense. Okay, so for Fury, the build doesn't change that much. It's still going to feel similar to what you're playing on live right now. We're playing Mountain Thane, and we do have Uproar now because of the talent tree change. It has kind of freed up 1 point here that we can take into that we can pick up, and Uproar is worth it, I think. You can also take Spear, and you'll get more single target that way, but I think Thunderous Roar is probably better because it lets you do some sort of damage on the uncapped pulls, right? That's where Fury struggles. Right, and we are playing Anger Management here as well. I tried Reckless Abandon quite a few times, actually, and I just wasn't really impressed with the numbers that was doing compared to Anger Management. But maybe I'm biased because I do prefer the gameplay of AM in M+. I was surprised that Powerful Enrage actually sims better than Frenzied Enrage, even though you're playing AM. You would have thought that having more haste so you get more CDR would be better. But no, Powerful Enrage is still too powerful. So I think the recommended build, or the build that I saw simmed the highest, actually had 1 point in critical thinking instead of 1 point in depth experience. But in my experience, that just kind of feels bad because it's difficult to keep your enrage going if you don't have that point in depth experience. And yeah, critical thinking just isn't that much better than Death Experience anyway. So I recommend just taking this for ease of use, and just feels much better to have. Priority for Fury is Rampage is the highest priority with anger management. You do want to prioritize Raging Blow as your top spender. No, sorry, top builder. You would have thought that you would press Bloodthirst a lot more actually, but because Raging Blow actually buffs Rampage and Bloodthirst, it has a lot of hidden power that isn't necessarily something that you see straight away when you press Raging Blow, right? When you press Raging Blow, you're also buffing your next Rampage, you're buffing your next Bloodthirst via Blood Craze and Slaughtering Strikes. But yes, during Execute phase, you will see really, really big Bloodthirsts for sure, especially when you get Burst of Power procs and, from Mountain Thane. I was seeing some really stupid numbers. I think it was between 4 and 5 million damage from each Bloodthirst when I had Burst of Power and cooldown up. In Execute. So yeah, very nice. I do think that Arms is probably going to do more overall damage than Fury in M+. The single target that Fury does in M+ is higher than Arms, because Fury loses less single target than Arms does when playing an AoE build. So my prediction for Arms versus Fury in M+ is a difficult one. It depends what your team needs, I think. But I think in general, if you're just like pugging or whatever, and you just want to stomp DPS and look good, probably just go Arms, because Arms will probably do better in that department without feeling that bad in single target now. Because on live, the main reason I don't play Arms is because the single target just feels so much worse than Fury. All the big single target hitters got buffed for Arms, and they also buffed precise strikes, practice strikes as well, to increase the single target even further. It feels a lot more acceptable now on single target. I didn't feel like I was lagging too far behind when I was playing Colossus Arms in single target, which is something I always felt on live keys right now in Season 1. But Mountain Thane Fury is still higher single target than Arms. It does have more priority damage as well. So like if you're doing a pull of 5 mobs and one mob has a lot of health, then Fury helps kill that one big mob at the same rate as the smaller mobs, right? So it depends what you need, but I think Arms is probably better rounded than Fury right now in M+. We did also get more health via reinforced plates. They baked that into this talent here now. So that's nice. That's for Arms and Fury, by the way, and Prout as well. So that's nice. We got more tankiness for free. And all of this information that I've been going through here, it is from this spreadsheet here. I might have changed like a talent here and there, but yeah, credit to all the people that worked in the spreadsheet. You can see more information here as well. I will link the spreadsheet in the description because there's a lot of good info here for sure. And let's talk about trinkets actually. So early on in the season, you're probably going to want to farm improvised C4ium pacemaker, which is a trinket that I forgot to mention in one of my recent videos. So this trinket is from the Floodgates, the new dungeon in Season 2. And it's basically it just gives you strength and also procs some crit. And it's tuned pretty decently well, so it's good for both Arms and Fury to begin with. Your BIS in the end is probably going to be for Arms, Aya Kazan and House of Cards. House of Cards is a 1.5 minute cooldown trinket. It has strength and it on use gives you mastery. Eye of Kazan is one of those stacking trinkets. The longer you are in combat, the higher the stacks get, up to a maximum of 20, and it decays when you are outside of combat. So it's one of those trinkets that probably aren't that good in M+, because of the stacking mechanic. So you could use Reverb Radio, which is this trinket here. It is a strength trinket that procs haste every now and again. there's also the option of playing the Mechano Core Amplifier, but that's just for Fury. I don't know if they've tried this for arms. This one is from Delves, I believe, and it can be quite difficult to get on hero track, but it's a strength trinket and it procs you a random secondary stat, I think. The Algaricon's Concordance comes up here as well, but I don't think it's a very good trinket. I would try to avoid this one. Try and get improved C4 Pacemaker. Try and get House of Cards. Of course, House of Cards is from Raid, so it might be difficult to get, because I think a lot of classes are going to want this trinket as well. So I don't know what I'm going to farm as Fury. I'll probably go for this trinket and maybe try and get this trinket from Delves. Even if I can get it on champion track early on, it'll be useful for a while. Oh, and here are the set bonus improvements. So the set bonus isn't that impressive. It's decent for arms, I guess. So from having no tier at all, so not even season 1 tier set, it's an 8.4% to go from 0 sets to 4 sets, which is just meh. It's okay. Whereas for Fury, it's actually really, really bad. The difference between not having set at all and having the set is 3.10%. So that's not good. A lot of other specs have much higher tier set increases than we do. So it's possible that we won't get prioritized for tier sets. If your guild goes by, you know, who gains the most out of getting the tier set anyway, that should be the case. Which could also mean that, you know, when they race to world first stats, warriors will look even better than they actually are, because nobody will have their tier set bonuses yet, right? So if we can do this well without our tier set bonus, and then everyone gets the tier set bonus, some people will benefit way more from the tier set bonus, while we will only get a small benefit. So maybe they will catch up from getting their tier set bonus, whereas we'll fall slightly behind, right? So hopefully that isn't the case, because I can definitely see season 1 repeating itself in this way, if things go the wrong way. So right, I guess one final change here is that they did retune some enchants. The ones that we are concerned with are Authority of Radiant Power. They increased the damage dealt by 23%, and Authority of the Depths has been buffed by 48% at quality 3 as well. So if we look at this here, Arms is using Authority of the Depths for single targets, and I assume Fury is as well. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you. I did just record this in pretty much one take, so hopefully I could make this video flow well enough. But yeah, I look forward to playing season 2. I hope you do too, and I will be uploading stuff as usual, but I probably won't do a full guide. I never do, but this kind of serves as a good start, I guess, for season 2. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.